Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Murmuhu. In the last class, we saw what God is: unlimited, eternal, unchanging existence, infinite, omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, and omnicompassionate, limitless in every aspect that we saw, and how in Hinduism the principles are same, manifestations are different. Like electricity, the principle is same, source is same, and how many varieties we are using it. From motors and engines, so many things, computers, varieties of computers, lighting, sound, all this, heating. I want water to be heated. There is electricity. Lighting. I can use at night for lighting. I can light a stove also with the same electricity. So how many innumerable ways I am using as fan, I am using it as AC, cooling the room and my body. I am using as a refrigerator. I am using as an engine in the railway. How many ways, how many? One electricity. Principle is same, but manifestations are many. We don't equate any two, whether it is heat energy or light energy. Light energy and heat energy we don't equate. But when it goes to the source, it is one source, electricity. Like that, we do not equate light with heat, yet there is a base which is common, the electricity which is producing here, heat there, heat, light. Like that, we don't equate various aspects of God, be it Shiva and Shakti, or Vishnu and Shiva. We don't usually equate, but when we go to the principle and when we see the culmination, oh, they are same. So this equating, because of the principle, same principle, every fruit is the product of same earth, every smell is product of same earth, every fragrance of the flowers, every taste in the fruits, all are from the same soil. When we see that as soil, to reach back the source, I will have to go back to the source. So equating is a principle adopted to show. Now, after Sri Ramakrishna's coming, all religions, all philosophies, all ways, paths to God are equated beyond the limits of time and space. One spiritual existence, one human existence, all are manifestations of that one. So here we see in this song, Krishna and Kali has been, this subject we discussed in the last class. So this Krishna and Kali are equated in this song. O mother, for Yashoda, Thou wouldst dance when she called thee her precious blue jewel. Yashoda is Krishna's mother. The saint is addressing Kali, O Mother Kali. When Yashoda called you, how you do dance as Krishna. Now Krishna and Kali are being identified. It is Krishna, Kali who had become Krishna. It is Kali who had become Shiva, like that. Now, we have our Ishtadevata. Suppose we have Sri Ramakrishna as our Ishtadevata. He is the path and goal and the bridge between the infinite and finite. He is the boat which makes me cross over. It is He standing on the other side as my goal. He is the path, He is the leading Guru. Suppose I take Him. Now, this identification, when I go to a Durga temple, I will think, oh, Sri Ramakrishna is here, you see, in Durga form. When I go to a Shiva temple, I will feel, oh, my Ramakrishna is here in the Shiva form. Is Shiva form for these people who believe in that form. He has taken Durga form for those who are believers in Durga form. When we go to church, cross is there and Christ's picture is there. Oh, for these people, my Ramakrishna is here in the form of Christ, guiding these people towards liberation. How it will be to conceive my Ishtadevata, finally sitting, oh, He is there in the form of this universe. He is beyond all and as all. Every life He sees bubbling with life. He sees Ramakrishna is there in the form of the life. For life is manifestation of consciousness, Chaitanya. The same concept. The sage who has written, the saint who has written this, is a worshipper of Kali. He is identifying when Yashoda called, how you danced as Krishna. Blue jewel refers to Krishna. Where hast thou hidden that lovely form, O terrible Shama? Your terrible form, where is that Krishna's loving form? Where have you hidden that? Dance that way once more, O mother. Throw down thy sword and take a flute. Krishna is to play flute and Kali is standing with, Shama is standing with sword. Put down that sword and take up the flute. Cast off their garland of heads, wear the wildflower garland. If without Shiva thou canst not dance, then let Bailurmath be thy Shiva. Is Krishna's elder brother, Bailurmath. A companion is needed for dancing, then take Bailurmath instead of Shiva. Dance, O Shama, as thou didst dance when thou wast Krishna. Now she is asking Kali to dance like Krishna. Mother, play on their flute again, once, so full of delight for the gopis. play again on their magic flute, which called the cattle inform the pasture. Cattle in from the pasture, from pasture, when he's going back, he takes them all cows and other boys, gopalas, they go for grazing cows. Cows slowly wander away here, there, eating grass in the grasslands. The time is up for going, or noon food it is time for. They all sit here and there under a tree. When the flute is heard, they all come running and sit closer. When these people eat food, they'll be watching. And for small calves and all, they will give little of their food. And then, while going, again they will go for grazing. By the evening, he plays the flute. All return back and follow him. So that from pasture, when the flute is sung, it brings them together. Play again thy magic flute, which called the cattle in from the pasture. Stopping the Jamuna's murmuring flow and turning it backward. Hot in the sky, the sun would burn when Yashoda, restless for her Krishna, very hot days, hot sun will be burning, and his mother Yashoda is anxious. Fondly would call, "Here, my Gopala, cream and butter, eat them, my darling." And she would comb his long black hair and carefully braid it. How that mother, usually boys are cut down, the hairs cut down. For some they leave up to here, till it touches the back. It will be combed nicely and put. He's still a lad. And would comb his long black hair and carefully braid it. Bending thy supple body, mother, both at neck and waist and knee. How Krishna is to stand. Tribhangi, 3 places it will be bent in 3 ways. At neck, at waist and knee. The standing is balanced. One side is leg, other side is waist, and again waist side. The center of gravity is passing through correctly. Thou didst dance with thy friend Sridhama, while thy 2 anklets played music. Tataya, tataya, tatataya. How the jingling of the anklets would make sound. Hearing their captivating sound, the gopis would rush there. Love is something which binds, and when it is pure to the core, a love that seeks nothing, love for love's sake, which doesn't seek any kind of enjoyment or satisfaction, but love, pure love, where there is no enjoyment, but a sacrifice of endearing and affection. When it is there, people forget their bodily existence. This love, all gopis used to enjoy. In thought of Krishna, they would forget their bodies. The other aspect of enjoyment, it intensifies the presence of body. It activates the senses. It agitates the mind. Here, it calms down the mind. It pacifies the senses. It makes calm and inner settlement. Whole thing is peace-filled, bliss surging out, and they are unaware of their bodies, as if they are pure spirit, dipped in spirit. So hearing their captivating sound, the gopis would rush there. Sri Ramakrishna came down to consciousness of the world. He was unaware of the world. Where he is, what is he? He is in some other world. Pointing to Shashadhar, he said to him, "Why don't you prod him?" He wanted him or some other devotee to ask Shashadhar a question. Ram Dayal. To Shashadhar. The scriptures speak of Brahman's form as a projection of mind. Who is that projects? The scriptures speak of Brahman's form as projection of mind. Who is it that projects? Form, Nama Rupa, personal aspect of God. It is projection of your mind. The formless is the real, and the form is what your mind is projecting. For that the question is asked, who projects? There must be someone to project. Who projects? That in my mind is projecting. Who is projecting? It is mind projecting. Scriptures of Brahman's form as projection of mind. Who is it that projects? Because mind itself is inert. It is not conscious entity. It cannot project. There must be a conscious entity behind which projects. Shashadhar, it is Brahman itself that does so. It is no projection of a man's mind. Pratap, why does Brahman project the form? Master, you ask why? Brahman does not act in consultation with others. Why does Brahman project? Now it is like the sun. Why does it project light? Why does it project light? Why does breeze blow? Why does? Because it's its nature. Everything has its own nature. According to nature, fire heats, but water doesn't heat things. Why does water not heat the object, but fire heats up the object? Because it is nature of there. Water can cool down to its temperature. What is the water's temperature? Up to that here. Suppose hot water, it cannot cool down. It can acquire heat and leave heat. When it is, I am using water to take away the heat from my body, I feel it cold. Water is cooling my body. But it is taking away the heat from body and I am feeling cold. Water has that nature. Fire has the other nature to heat up. So here we see Brahman has its own nature. Nature has her own nature. Master, why do you ask why Brahman does not act in consultation with others? If it consults by projecting, then we can give the reason. It is this such and such person has asked him to project. It is spontaneity, its own nature. It is Brahman's pleasure. Brahman is self-willed. Why should we try to know the reason for the Brahman acting this way or that? We have come to the orchard to eat mangoes. Eat the mangoes. What is the good of calculating how many trees there are in the orchard? How many thousand branches and how many millions of leaves? One cannot realize the truth by futile arguments and reasoning. This is an important indication. Everything within this universe has logic and reasoning behind. Everything happens by logic. See, sitting here, we are very sure the day when it is eclipse is going to be there in minutes and seconds perfection, not approximately also. When does the grahana eclipse catch? When does it? Each place, how much it is visible, everything we are able to predict because here the law of nature is applied, law of cause and effect, karya karana bhava. So we can we can say grahana is going to be at this hour, this whole, not only any future, thousands of years after, also we can clearly predict, on this day, after 10,000 years, there will be grahana. Logic and reasoning moves perfectly with the universe. But there it doesn't apply. Beyond the nature, there is neither time, nor space, nor causation. Because causation is not there. Law of cause and effect doesn't apply. So reasoning and logic doesn't take you to that place. It makes you roll again and again. Whatever conclusion we come to in this state is not applicable or indicating even in the remote way what that is. We can never know. Through reasoning we can never know what that is. Reasoning is applicable only to and it cannot take you there. It makes you move within and within and within. Same cycle. Just like whatever is happening in dream, you cannot apply that logic here. Dream world has dream's own laws. Suddenly, in dream you see you are walking, you are a small boy, and you enter somewhere, you are in the forest area, and you are moving about. You are an old man there. Few minutes have passed, you have become old. how does this boy become old? Because this law of nature doesn't apply there. What is laws of dream world doesn't apply here. So I kept milk on the stove in dream, and it fine burner, fine flame is below, and it took 2 days to heat the milk. And that law cannot be applied here. Here, neither milk will be there, nor the residue. 2 days means everything disappears. So, the law, similarly, those laws cannot take you to bring you to waking state. Your own awareness will wake you. Using the dream logic, you cannot get up from dream. Like that, using the logic of this world, logic and reasoning, you cannot reach the beyond. When the reasoning and logic drop, you are reaching the fringes already, just a step ahead. This is called Buddhi Visarjana. Trying in all possible ways, you will understand Buddhi will not take me there. Intellect will not take me there. And intellect just drops off. We leave the intellect and my own existence of intellect. Then that intellect, freed from all vasanas, come back again and start leading us in the inner world. Because it has a beautiful nature and very close to the reality. Buddhi is the just closest thing to the Atman. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.